We don't want to see your face at her graduation. My mom snapped during a family Zoom call. Then you'll never see my money again. I replied while quietly canceling the tuition plan and every credit card they used behind my back. She walked the stage. I walked away for good. Don't even bother showing up, my mother said, her voice sharp, cutting through the grainy Zoom connection like glass. It's not about you. It's her day. I sat there, frozen, with my coffee going cold in my hand. My laptop was balanced on the edge of the kitchen counter. Behind me, the morning sun filtered through the blinds, warm and golden. But everything felt ice-cold. My sister Chloe, silent in her little Zoom square, smirked. She didn't say anything. She didn't have to. Her smug silence said it all. I wasn't welcome. Again. I looked at the gallery of faces, my parents, my aunts, cousins, even my Uncle Mark, who never joins these calls unless there's free food involved. All of them sat in awkward silence. No one spoke up for me. No one even blinked. So that's it. I asked slowly, trying to keep my voice even. After everything I've done. Don't start, my mom snapped. We're not doing this. Chloe's graduating college. It's a celebration. Not, whatever this is. Whatever this is. Right. This. The thing where I pay for everyone's everything, and still somehow get told I'm the problem. For the last 4 years, I'd paid Chloe's tuition. Every semester. I set up the 529 plan. I paid the fees. I covered the books, even the overpriced apartment off campus when she said the dorms were too depressing. My parents? They clapped when she got the scholarship, and then never contributed another dime when that scholarship only covered half. Guess who made up the rest? But suddenly, I was a distraction, an embarrassment, a source of tension, as Chloe put it in a group text last week, when I dared to ask her to maybe call once a month to say thanks. I let out a breath. My hand was already moving, fingers flying across the keyboard. Log in. Bank dashboard. Cancel the tuition autopay. Done. Oh, I said casually. If that's how you feel, then you'll never see my money again. My mom narrowed her eyes, like she didn't believe me. I mean it, I added. Credit cards. Tuition. Grocery allowance. It's all done. You're adults, right? Time to act like it. And then, without waiting for their reaction, I clicked Leave Meeting. My phone lit up 5 seconds later with a message from my dad. Don't do anything stupid. She's your sister. Followed by Chloe's. Thanks for making everything about you. Again, I silenced my phone, stood up, and poured my cold coffee down the drain. My hand didn't shake. Not anymore. She walked the stage that June. Cap, gown, proud smile, photos everywhere. I wasn't there. And for once, I didn't feel guilty. I felt free. I wish I could say that Zoom call was the beginning of the betrayal, but it wasn't. It had been building for years. Quietly. Relentlessly. It started the moment I got my first real job out of college. I was 24, freshly hired by a fintech startup and still too naive to realize how quickly family would smell blood in the water. My mom called me a week after I got the offer. So proud of you, honey. Also, your sister's tuition bill came in. Just until we figure things out, can you help cover it? I should have said no. But I said yes. Of course I said yes. That, just until we figure things out, turned into 4 years of monthly tuition, housing, meal plans, textbooks, and emergencies that were somehow always about things like concert tickets, Apple Watches, or a spontaneous weekend in Miami. For mental health, my sister Chloe never said thank you. Not once. My parents did, at first. And then they started treating it like it was my duty. You make more than us, my dad would remind me. You don't even have kids, my mom added one night over wine. And besides, she's the smart one. She's going places. You should be proud. Proud. Right. Proud of the sister who once told me I was a boring loser with no presents, just because I said no to buying her friend's dinner. Proud of the girl who never worked a part-time job in her life, because why would she, when I paid for everything? But I still paid. Because somewhere deep down, I thought if I gave enough, they'd finally see me as family. Turns out, I was just the wallet. And the worst part? They weren't even subtle about it. There was the Christmas 2 years ago when Chloe unwrapped a MacBook Air, a gift from me, and wrinkled her nose. I asked for the Pro, she said. This one's kind of basic. My mother didn't say a word. My dad chuckled and said, well, maybe next year. Then came the time my mom accidentally left her phone unlocked on the table, and I saw a message she'd sent to my aunt. He's such a control freak about money. You'd think he was Jeff Bezos. But hey, if he's dumb enough to keep paying, I'm not complaining. That message lived rent-free in my head for weeks. But the real detonator? The moment I realized just how deep the manipulation ran. It came one rainy Thursday, around midnight, when I got a call from my bank's fraud department. "Mr. Hamilton, we're calling to verify some unusual activity on a card ending in 7024. Multiple purchases totaling $3,700 at luxury retailers in the last 48 hours. My blood ran cold. That card wasn't supposed to exist. It was one I'd opened years ago and handed over to my mother just for groceries. I'd forgotten it even existed. She hadn't. Neither had Chloe. The purchases? A bracelet from Cartier, a designer handbag, a pair of Yeezys. None of it was groceries. I froze the account and called my mother the next morning. Her response? Laughter. "Oh my God, you're being dramatic," she said. "It was just a few things Chloe needed for graduation. Don't ruin the surprise." "Needed?" I said. "You mean stole." That was the first time I used that word, and it hit like a slap. "You've always been so uptight," my mom snapped. "You act like the world owes you something just because you write a few checks." "I didn't write a check," I said, voice shaking. "You took it, without asking. You're using my cards behind my back." She hung up on me. That's when I checked my online accounts. 3 cards in my name, all used without permission, all maxed out, all tied back to my address, my SSN, my credit, my mother, my sister, my family. That night, I sat at my desk staring at my phone, hand hovering over Chloe's number. I didn't call. I logged into the tuition management site instead. She had 1 semester left. 1. And I canceled it. I didn't even feel guilty. Just hollow. Like something inside me had quietly died. The next morning, the email started. From Bursar's office. Subject: urgent, payment declined. Followed by 3 texts from Chloe. "Hey, did the payment not go through? Are you messing with my account? Mom said you're being a baby. Just fix it. Just fix it." That was my role in the family, wasn't it? The fixer. The one who worked 60 hours a week so Chloe could wear Chanel to classes she barely attended. The one who made sure my parents' mortgage was always mysteriously up to date, despite their retirement income not covering half of it. But not anymore. Not after the stolen cards. Not after the group chat I accidentally caught a glimpse of, where Chloe called me our family's sad little cash cow. And especially not after my mom called and demanded I reinstate the tuition plan, because this is not the time for one of your moods. I told her calmly, "You told me not to come to graduation, so I won't, and neither will my money." Then I hung up. I'd expected fireworks, screaming, begging, but instead, there was silence. And I knew why. Because they thought I was bluffing. They always thought I was bluffing. But this time, I was done. 3 weeks after I canceled the tuition, my mom called a family Zoom. She labeled it urgent family discussion, which usually meant one of 2 things. Either someone died, or I was about to get ambushed. Guess which one it was? I almost didn't join. But some sick part of me wanted to see their faces. I wanted to hear them try to gaslight me one last time. So I logged in. And there they were, the usual suspects. Chloe, sitting in her pink hoodie with flawless makeup and a pout that probably took 40 minutes to perfect. Mom, in her favorite silk robe, sipping coffee like this was brunch. Dad, barely present as usual, scrolling through his phone on mute. "You really need to fix this," my mother began, skipping right past hello. "I'm sorry, fix what exactly?" I asked. "Her graduation is in 2 weeks, Mom said, as if I hadn't noticed. She's walking across that stage. And you not being there would be a disgrace." I blinked. "You told me not to come." "I was upset," she replied. "It was the heat of the moment." "No," Chloe snapped. "I said it. I meant it. I don't want you there." There it was. "But," she added, "I still need the final payment for my capstone course. They said I can't walk unless the balance is cleared." I leaned back, staring at the screen like it was some twisted sitcom. "So you don't want me there, but you do want my money." Chloe crossed her arms. "This isn't about you. It's about me finishing college." "You mean the college I paid for?" I said. "Every semester. Every book. Every apartment. Every Uber. Every overpriced acai bowl." "Don't be dramatic," my mom snapped. "Dramatic?" I repeated, my voice sharp. "You stole from me. Both of you. You used my cards. You maxed out my accounts behind my back. You told me I didn't belong, and now you want to play family again?" Dad finally looked up. "Let's not blow this out of proportion." I laughed. Loud. Bitter. "Oh, this is proportionate," I said. "I'm about to make it proportionate." I reached over to my laptop, opened a folder titled Receipts, and shared my screen. Dozens of screenshots, bank statements, credit reports, each one showing transactions from my cards that traced back to Chloe's name, my mother's shipping address, her Apple ID. See, I was going to let it go. Let you stew in your own mess, I said. But then you try to flip it. Make me the villain. Mom looked pale. Dad sat frozen. Chloe rolled her eyes. This is so petty, she muttered. Petty? I said. This is theft. This is fraud. I already talked to my lawyer. This could have serious legal consequences. Oh, please, Mom snapped. You wouldn't dare. I smiled. No? Then maybe this will jog your memory. I clicked on a file labeled audio_recording.mp3. It played aloud. A voice memo I'd accidentally recorded during a speakerphone call between Mom and Chloe 2 months ago. The one where they joked about milking me until I got married and had a real family to pay for. When it ended, the Zoom was silent. You recorded us? Mom whispered. You took what wasn't yours, I said flatly. Why are you doing this? Chloe hissed. You always think you're better than us just because you work some stupid job and live in that depressing apartment. You're right, I said. I do think I'm better than people who drain their own family and call it love, who smile to your face and mock you in private, who steal and then whine about not getting more. My dad unmuted himself. That's enough. You're blowing up the whole family. No, I said, standing up, voice ice cold. You blew it up. I just finally stepped back. Then I looked straight at the screen. Here's what's going to happen. I'm not coming to the graduation. I'm not paying the balance. I'm not covering rent. I've already canceled every credit card, removed all access to my accounts, and closed the family Spotify, Netflix, and the grocery subscription you were secretly using under my name. Chloe opened her mouth, then stopped. You're bluffing, Mom said weakly. Am I? I said, and held up my phone. Bank says otherwise. I even reported the stolen cards. The only reason I haven't pressed charges is because I don't want to destroy Chloe's chances at a job. Yet. Mom looked stunned. Dad rubbed his temples. Chloe cried. Tears, real or fake, I didn't care. You'll regret this, Mom whispered. You'll be alone. I already was, I said. But now at least I'm alone on my own terms. And with that, I ended the call. Not just the Zoom. Everything. I didn't sleep the night after that call. Not because I was upset. Not because I doubted myself. But because I couldn't stop smiling. For the first time in years, I felt light. Like I'd been carrying 3 fully grown adults on my back, and finally shrugged them off a cliff. The silence came first. 3 days of absolute nothing. No texts. No calls. No half-baked apologies. Then, on the 4th day, the storm hit. It started with a long, unhinged email from my mother, titled, You're Being Cruel. She accused me of sabotaging Chloe's future, of humiliating the family, and, my personal favorite, of being infected by Western selfishness. Then came the messages from relatives I hadn't heard from in years. She's still your sister. It's just money, you can't take it with you. We're all disappointed in how you handled this. Funny how none of them texted when I was paying for everything. But I didn't reply. I was busy moving into my new apartment. A clean, sunlit space with hardwood floors, white walls, and no ghosts of betrayal haunting the kitchen. No stolen credit cards. No Chloe. No Mom. No family dinners where I got seated like an outsider at my own table. I bought a plant. I named it Boundaries. The only message I did reply to came from a number I didn't recognize. Chloe, I can't believe you do this to me. I missed the deadline. I can't walk now. You ruined everything. I stared at it for a minute, then typed. I didn't ruin anything. I just stopped funding your fantasy. Then I blocked her. 1 week later, I got a call from my old university. Turns out, someone had tried to impersonate me and re-enable the tuition plan. They flagged it as fraud. The someone? Chloe. She'd forged a form using a scan of my old signature. Badly. When the rep told me, I laughed so hard I had to pull over. That's when I realized something. This wasn't just entitlement. This was addiction. To my money. To control. To the version of me who never said no. And that version of me was dead. A month passed. The family held graduation without me. Chloe didn't walk. She sat in the audience watching classmates celebrate while she pretended it didn't matter. I saw the pictures. My aunt posted them on Facebook with the caption, Proud of our Chloe. She'll always be a graduate in our eyes, even if the system failed her. The system didn't fail her. She just couldn't scam it anymore. A week after that, I got a surprise visitor. My dad. He showed up at my building, standing awkwardly in the lobby like a lost tourist. I just want to talk, he said. I let him up. He didn't sit. Just hovered near the window, hands in his pockets, glancing around like the apartment might explode. Your mother's furious, he started. I figured. She says you've shamed us. I did what I had to do. He sighed. It's a lot. You didn't have to go nuclear. I smiled. That was me finally being calm. He looked at me for a long moment, then said something I didn't expect. She used you. Chloe too. We let it happen. I blinked. You knew? He nodded. I didn't want to admit it. But yeah, we got comfortable. You always handled things. It was easier that way. And now it's quiet. He looked tired. Chloe's spiraling. Your mom's pretending everything's fine. But it's not. He looked at me again, more pleading this time. Come back. At least to talk. I shook my head. I already did talk. For years. No one listened. Now they'll have to listen to silence. He left with a sigh, muttering, You've changed. And he was right. I had. But the real cherry on top? It came 2 months later, in the most unexpected way. I got a LinkedIn message from a woman I didn't know. Hi, you don't know me, but I'm Chloe's ex-roommate from college. I just wanted to say something. I frowned, clicked it open. I watched how she talked about you. I heard the way she bragged about using your cards, calling you he's just a walking wallet. It always made me sick. But after what you did, cutting them off, standing your ground, honestly, you inspired me. I cut ties with my own toxic family last week. Because of your story. So thank you. For showing people like us it's okay to walk away. I read it twice. Then sat back, heart pounding. I hadn't just saved myself. I'd set fire to a legacy of silent suffering and lit a torch for someone else. I used to think loyalty meant sacrifice. That family came first, no matter the cost. That love meant giving without limits, even when it bled you dry. But not anymore. Not after everything. Not after I watched the people I trusted use me like a credit card with no expiration date, then throw me out the second I stopped swiping. Not after I saw the truth in their eyes. That to them, I was never a son, never a brother. Just convenient. So here's what I know now. I don't owe anyone anything just because we shared DNA. That sentence alone would have terrified the old me. The one who spent years swallowing anger like aspirin. The one who thought maybe, just maybe, if I gave a little more, they'd finally love me the way I needed. But that version of me, he's gone. He died the day my mother told me I wasn't welcome at my own sister's graduation and then demanded I pay for it anyway. He died the day I found out they'd stolen from me. Not just money, but dignity. He died the day I opened that Zoom call, looked them in the eyes, and said no. And in his place, someone new. Someone who doesn't flinch when people call him selfish. Someone who understands the difference between support and exploitation. Someone who knows that love without respect is just manipulation with a pretty face. And that family, real family, doesn't put conditions on love. Real family doesn't steal from you and call it help. Real family doesn't cut you off for saying no and then come crawling when the gravy train stops running. It's been 6 months. I haven't spoken to Chloe. She didn't graduate. She moved back in with my parents, spending her days sulking and blaming everyone but herself. My mom sends emails now and then. Sometimes dramatic, we're still your family. Sometimes pathetic, we miss your help with the groceries. I delete them unread. My dad hasn't reached out again. Maybe he's ashamed. Maybe he's just tired. Maybe he finally understands that silence can be a boundary too. They made their choice. And I made mine. I walk through life now with a strange peace I never had before. No more guilt. No more resentment wrapped in forced smiles. No more calculating if standing up for myself is worth the fallout. I've already lived the fallout. I survived it. And I'm thriving. Last weekend, I was at a bookstore. Just browsing. Not looking for anything, really. And then I saw her, a girl in her early 20s, talking to a friend in the self-help section. I don't know what to do, she said. My parents say I owe them everything because they paid for college, but now they treat me like a maid. Like I'm just supposed to keep giving. Her friend didn't know what to say, but I did. I walked up, gently, and said, You don't owe anyone your peace. Especially not people who trade support for silence. She blinked. Sorry, I've been there, I said. You don't have to let them drain you to prove you're loyal. Saying no doesn't make you the villain. Sometimes, it makes you the hero of your own story. She stared at me. Then, quietly, she said, Thanks. And just like that, I walked away. That's the thing they never tell you. The moment you break free from toxic family ties, the world doesn't end. It begins. You learn how to build a new one. One where love isn't a currency. One where support isn't conditional. One where respect is mutual, not weaponized. I'm building that world now. It's smaller, quieter, but it's mine. And if you're reading this, if you've ever been the family's punching bag, bank account, or emotional landfill, I want you to hear me loud and clear. You are not selfish for saying no. You are not cruel for walking away. You are not broken because you refuse to be used. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is leave. Let them call you heartless. Let them talk behind your back. Let them live in the silence they chose. But you walk forward, like I did, alone, but finally, free.